Hi everyone. We are going into spring break, starting today. So there are no assignments that are due next week. However, I did want to post the assignments that are due the week after and also the extra credit. So that way, in case you have some extra time over this next week, you can get in there and start working on these. Okay. Our next assignments are about second language acquisition. So we've got 3 assignments here. And then just really quickly, there is a quiz. The quiz is based on this document here. And it's looking at Dr. Stephen Krashen. He is the expert in second language acquisition. His theories are what we look to understand how children and adults acquire a second language after they've already successfully acquired a first. Then I've got an assignment here where I'm asking you to design the ideal language school. So there are many different models of language instruction, second language instruction. So I've got a video here where Dr. Krashen is kind of going into some of the specifics of some of the parts of his theories, and then some information about the different kinds of methods, approaches, different kind of language schools that are used. So what I'm asking you here is to think about, if you were a teacher, if you were designing a school or a classroom, and you want to focus on beginning learners, okay, so someone who really doesn't know anything about the language, what is the best way, based on everything that you've learned from reading about and listening to Dr. Krashen, based on everything that is in this document here that explains the different types of methods, and also thinking about your own experience. Everyone has had some kind of experience with a second language, whether you are completely, bilingual, fluent in both languages, or you maybe took some, classes in high school or college and you didn't really learn too much. So think about that experience, think about everything that you know, and then just tell me all the answers to all of these, okay? Give me the details about what you think would be the best situation for people to actually be able to acquire a second language. And then finally, a discussion. And in the discussion, I am asking you to really now reflect on your experiences with acquiring a second language, and make sure that you watch the video. I really would recommend doing the assignments in this order, but just make sure that you have that video of Dr. Krashen kind of fresh in your mind, and then you're going to read about the different factors that influence whether a person is successful or not in acquiring that second language. And then you're going to explain your experience. Okay, so that's what the original post is all about. Just give us all the details, all the specifics on that. And then for the replies, you're going to be talking about the different factors, okay, the different internal and external factors. And those are going to come from this document right here. Okay, and then that takes us to the end of the module, but I do want to talk about the extra credit. Okay, so there are 3 extra credit assignments. Each one is worth 20 points, so that's going to be a total of 60 possible points that you could earn for extra credit. The assignment due date is May 18th, and then you do have that 7-day grace period, so that will take us right up until the end of the semester, and I have to turn in your grades the Monday after finals. So everything needs to be in by that date, no later. Okay, the first one is about talking toys. And so, talking toys, lots of parents buy these talking toys for their children, thinking, maybe it's entertainment, but maybe they also think, and sometimes they're marketed to parents to say that they do help your child acquire more language, acquire language better, quicker. And so there is a news story about that. So just listen to that and then just summarize what it says and give your opinion about that. The next extra credit assignment is about writing systems. So there are basically 3 different types of writing systems. Of course, we have an alphabet, but there are also syllabaries and logographies. So I've got a couple of websites here. Go ahead and check out the different types. You just kind of got to scan through that website. And then here's another site that talks about the history of each. And then what you're going to do is think about if English needed to change its writing system. Okay, so a lot of people are complaining English spelling is too hard. We need to get rid of our alphabet. Which type would you choose that you think would be a better way to write English? Maybe your answer is we're just going to stick with the alphabet because it is the best, but I really want to know what you think about that. Okay. The last one is about texting and the impact that texting is having on language, if any. So there's an article here that interviews John McWhorter. We saw John McWhorter at the very beginning of this semester. He was one of those linguists that I asked you to respond to his short excerpt from his book. And then a TED Talk, okay, where he discusses the impact that texting is having on spoken language. Okay, so, I want to know your opinion. Do you agree or disagree? Just explain your point of view. And that is going to take us to the end of the extra credit. You're going to notice that the points is going to appear for the extra credit assignments as 0, but there are rubrics that say 20 points. So I have to make it that way for the points to be 0. So that way, just in case someone doesn't do the extra credit, it doesn't negatively affect their grade. But then when I add the points in, using the rubric, then if you do the extra credit, it will be extra points on top of the points that you already have. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I really hope that you get a little chance to, recover, relax, have some time for spring break. I do understand that this is a catch-up week for a lot of you, and it is for me as well. I'll be in here working, catching up on grading. I know I'm behind. So just please let me know if you have any questions. I will be around. And I hope that you get a chance to enjoy this great weather as well. And your allergies aren't kicking in too much. I know my voice is a little scratchy today because I think it's the hay fever that's coming on. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know if anything comes up. Bye-bye.